He's a Dana Holgorsen, who joins us here in studio. I got some questions for you. West Virginia head coach. I love Tavon Austin. Go ahead and get a little closer to the microphone if you want to there. But how would I use Tavon Austin if I'm an NFL coach as opposed to how you used him this year?
Well, I think there's a lot of similarities in what we did offensively, what the NFL's going to. If you look, the transition, the old school pro style offense, I don't think really exists much anymore. If you charted what the NFL did 10 years ago, how many times that the quarterbacks were in the shotgun, it's been going up every year. So I think what the NFL is kind of going to a little bit is what the college game's about. So what we did with them is we moved them around a bunch. We got them the ball in a variety of ways. We'd line them up in the backfield, put them in the slot, throw it to them downfield, screens. I mean, there's a variety of ways that you can get them the ball.
But I'm also looking at, I think he'll be the most impactful player, skill position player in this draft, because he can play right away, and you can use him. You don't have to take him out of the lineup. And he can do kick returns, punt returns. The issue is going to be his size. How worried were you with just the physicality of the game, teams you played with him getting hurt?
Yeah, toughest guy I've ever been around. A lot of the guys that, and I was asked this question a bunch by a lot of the NFL people, and the thing that's, he's got a strange combination of just being a really fast player. He can stop and start as good as anybody I've ever been around, but the fact that he's one of the toughest individuals I've ever coached says a lot about his durability. He never missed any practices. He was always in the game. One of the most competitive kids I've been around.
Who will be a better pro, Gino Smith or Tavon Austin?
Well, I don't think you can answer that question, to be honest with you. I think they're both going to be.
Well, sometimes guys peak in college. Purvis Ellison at Louisville won a national title as a freshman. He never got any better. Right. Certain guys, gym rats, guys who are going to want to be better, add something to their game.
Right.
Austin, I think, plays right away. I don't know what Gino does, depending on where he's drafted. It doesn't mean I don't like him. I just know Tavon Austin appears to be a little more of a finished product with what the NFL would like right now.
Yeah, I'd disagree with that a little bit. I think what Gino does from a quarterback standpoint, he can run any system you want him to. I mean, he was under center running a old school pro style offense his first 2 years at West Virginia, and then when I got there, we changed it to a little bit more of a spread set, and he can run any offense you want him to. He's played so much football over the last 10 years. It's what he's been about. So you can put him in any offense. You can teach him. The fact that he has played so much football, he can understand defenses and what they're doing, and has the capability of being able to learn whatever offense you throw at him. So
I want to come back because I want to ask you about what Nolan Naraki wrote in Pro Football Weekly about Gino Smith, and he took him to task there. Talked about work ethic, leadership. There are a variety of things there. I want to ask you, how did that information get out? He was talking to somebody perhaps at West Virginia. I don't know who his sources would be to tell him that he wasn't a good worker or leader or those things. But we'll continue with Dane. I know you're ready to dive into this, so hold on. Take a sip of water. We'll take a break. I'll let you get all fired up here if you want to. You can defend your guy, which I expect you to do. Dana Holgorsen, the West Virginia head coach, joining us here. Gino Smith, big story going into this draft. Where's he going? And is he going to go into a situation where he's going to start? Nolan Naraki of Pro Football Weekly talked about Gino Smith. So I figured, Coach, I'll just read some of the things that were said here. Needed to be coddled in college, cannot handle hard coaching, struggled handling the snow in the Pinstripe Bowl. Talked about not being a leader, not committed, not focused. Work ethic is marginal, interviewed poorly at the combine, didn't show an understanding of concepts on the whiteboard. Wow. Where does he get this information, Coach, unless somebody at West Virginia is talking?
You're not talking to me. I know that.
But does it worry you? Is there somebody at West Virginia who's saying that?
No. It's unfair. It's none of it's true. You can talk about each and every one of those statements right there, and I can guarantee it's nothing could be farther from the truth. I mean, Gino's a student of the game. He's a tremendous leader. Probably understands defenses better than I do. I mean, just by studying it and by looking at it, it's hard to be under center. And it's hard to look at the defenses, and regardless of what offense you run, have answers for it. I mean, he can see what all 11 people are doing at the same time, and offensively he's going to get us in the right play. He probably called half of our plays on his own. I give him the freedom to do that.
But Coach, I mean, these are strong words here.
Yeah.
Is this made up?
Yeah, because it's not true.
But who has an agenda? I mean, shaky lower body mechanics, doesn't stand tall in the pocket, average field vision, coverage recognition, forces throws.
Did he coach him? I mean, the only way you can have that information is if you coach him. And
well, that's why I wonder he's got small hands, right. Security issue. Now, that's true, 32 career fumbles. The work ethic thing, how do you prove you have a good work ethic?
You go to work every day.
Because if he did have a great work ethic, imagine the numbers he would have put up at West Virginia. Yeah. He did pretty well, whatever his work ethic.
42 touchdown passes and 6 interceptions is pretty good numbers, if you ask me. But the thing, Gino played at such a high level early in the season. When you have a game like he had against, say, Oklahoma, game 10. Where he still threw for 400 yards and he turned the ball over one time, but his numbers were still phenomenal. You don't talk about it because we didn't win the game. I mean, Gino, he puts a lot of pressure on himself. He puts the whole team on his back, and he expects to be successful. And when he doesn't, it's hard on him.
This is amazing, though. I mean, as far as the negatives go in Pro Football Weekly, takes unnecessary sacks, doesn't stand tall in the pocket, not an elusive scrambler, has pin legs. I mean,
he's pretty strong in the pocket now. I mean, he did a great job of keeping things alive. He was a pocket guy first. He wasn't just going to tuck it and run it when the first thing that went bad. I mean, he would keep the play alive, and can't tell you how many times he got us out of bad situations and ran and got the first down. So,
what if it said succeeded despite bad coaching?
Well, you might as well put that in there.
That's the only thing missing here, Dana.
You might as well put that in there. Gino's won a lot of football games as a starting quarterback at a pretty high level, so and we'll do the same thing in the NFL for a lot of years.
Why is it the smart guys are in college, not the NFL, when it comes to, Mike Leach? Yeah, you had the Patriots coming down. The creative guys, Urban Meyer, the creative guys are in college, not the pros. Why?
I think that's changing a little bit. It's like we talked about a little bit ago. I think the NFL is changing a little bit. And if you see the quarterbacks that are coming out, last year, what was there, 5 quarterbacks that came out that are all starting quarterbacks in the NFL and having pretty good success with it. So I think a lot of the things that the quarterbacks in college are being taught, the offenses that they're running, the experience, going into the NFL is carrying over into the NFL, to where the NFL is kind of changing a little bit.
Yeah, but I also look at the innovators. Who's a genius, an innovator in the NFL?
Well,
but I can mention guys in college football who are trendsetters.
Right.
And they're changing offense. Now the running back is really worthless. The running back that we grew up watching. Yeah. Now you got to be a third down guy. You're going to be in for the first 2 downs. You're a goal line guy. We had guys that were in for all 3 downs.
Right.
Catch, run. Now we've rendered the running back not useless. So all it is 5 wide. Just spread them out. Play a chess game at the line of scrimmage with your quarterback, right?
Well, and again, I mean, it depends on what offense you're running. I mean, that's really not what we do all the time. I mean, people think. You look at those numbers, and Gino threw for 4,500 yards, and have had a 4,000-yard quarterback for the last 12 years or whatever it is, but we run the ball probably 50% of the time. Sometimes it's even higher than that. So, you got to be able to run the ball, and the running back's probably the hardest position to play. You got to pass protect. You got to be able to be good in the pass game, the run game, and it's a very physical position. So that does take their toll on them.
Did you face Johnny Manziel at all? Did you recruit him?
No. I worked for Kevin Sumlin at Houston for 2 years, so obviously I've followed his career and was with Cliff Kingsbury for the 2 years there at Houston. So followed him last year, watched every one of their games. The offenses are very similar with what they're doing and what we're trying to do at West Virginia. Can
you imagine him in Oregon's offense with Chip Kelly? How different would Manziel have been in that offense as opposed to Texas A&M?
A little bit more run game at the line of scrimmage. Chip runs the ball a bunch, and is real good at it. The tempo is very similar.
See, there's another innovator.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the smart guys are in college. Well, Chip, of course, left.
Not anymore.
No. What do you think of the 4-team playoff?
I think it's excellent. I'm going out to Phoenix next week for a bunch of Big 12 meetings, so I'll learn more about it next week and how that's going to unfold. But I think it's good. You want to settle it on the field, and I think it's going to be really good for college football.
Before I let you go, Seton O'Connor went to West Virginia, and I need a favor if you can.
We need a degree, don't we?
Yeah, he doesn't have a degree. He was asked asked to leave, and then you could come back under specific terms. Is that right?
Right, yeah. I was never actually asked to leave. I was just told if I was coming back, there were very strict guidelines that I was going to have to follow. So.
What are those guidelines?
His mom.
Certain curfews,
his mom
perhaps,
is listening. No, you can't do that to him, Dan. That's beside the point, all right?
Yeah.
How much power do you have in Morgantown? Can you get him an honorary degree?
Well, we can arrange that.
He wants his doctorate.
He's probably gonna, well, that's not going to happen.
That's the next step.
We'll work on the undergraduate. How about that?
Yeah. How about an honorary degree?
Love it. That would be so rad.
What would be tougher, to win a national title or get Seton O'Connor an honorary degree?
Well, national title's pretty tough, but the honorary degree might be impossible.
Seton, I would just let that lie. I wouldn't. I mean, you want that to resurface? All of a sudden, they're looking at your records and bring back some bad memories for somebody on campus.
We're
there.
just getting over that. So.
Hey, I know you're a fan of the show. We appreciate you watching, and we appreciate you coming here in the Man Cave. Where will you be tonight with your guys going in the first round?
Yeah, I'll be there supporting them. I've been through a lot with them for the last couple of years, and this is it's a celebration for them. So I'm excited about both Tavon and Gino. It's going to be a great night for them. It's going to be a great night for West Virginia.
Can you recruit during the draft? Can you call a recruit as Tavon Austin or Gino Smith goes up to the podium?
It's a pretty good idea there, Dan. Might have to try that.
Yeah, just say, you're talking to a quarterback and say, oh, that's right, my quarterback's going right now 8th overall to Buffalo. Can you? Is it legal to do that?
Well, we can place one phone call to prospects in May, April, May, this period right now. We can place one phone call to them. So I might have to use my one phone call on a few of them tonight.
Keep an eye out on those phone records.
No,
the NCAA is
no
texting. All right,
no texting.
No texting. Dana Holgorsen, West Virginia head coach.